Hey everyone, this is Locohol, and in today's video, I'm going to be going over the Seismic Trapper League Starter. At this point, I've done pretty much all of the endgame content. I've done Maven, I've done the new Searing Exarch, I've done Eater of Worlds, I've completed 102 out of 117 maps on my Atlas. The build's feeling really good, but I did want to go over a few things, just like a few commonly asked questions. I will show some of my gear and go over the passive tree. I might even show a bit of my Atlas passive tree. But overall, the build is performing very well. I don't feel like it's quite as good as last league, but at the same time, I'm also not certain if it feels worse because I played on an endgame version of it for a really long time, for a couple of months. So I'm comparing it to something that was like top tier. But that being said, I cleared Maven, I did Sirus, I did the two new big bosses, and even though they took a while, I got them done, and the build's feeling good. So I'm actually using just one cold iron point and a shield. This is up to you. You can use 2 cold iron points. However, if you feel like you're dying a lot, you can grab a shield like this, just something with either very high energy shield and a bit of life. And then in terms of gear, I'm actually using Tinker Skin for now. If you are using Carcass Jack, that's absolutely fine. I just wanted to test this out. It is feeling pretty good. I'm just not entirely sure what the overlap interaction is. It's still a bit mysterious to me. If you've worked it out, please do let me know in the comments. But yeah, Tinkerskin's feeling good, especially for clear and mapping. And I will test Carcass Jack at some point. And in terms of the rest of the gear, I'm using Atziri's Step. If you're still on Deerstalkers, that's absolutely fine. And then I've got these little trapper gloves. Again, I've got a video where I show you how to make these. It's essentially just getting a pair of shaper gloves and then hitting it with essences until you see either trap and mine damage or trap. You want to ignore advanced traps, and I think there's another one, cluster traps or something like that. Ignore those. Advanced traps, I mean, trap and mine damage or trap support are good. So I'm using that in space of Deerstalker. My rings, super basic, just resistance, a bit of energy shield and life. And then I've got a +1 fizz amulet. Again, if you don't have this, it's all right. Just get something with life and resistances. And this ring is also just life and resistances. Same with the belt, life and resistances. In terms of my flasks, I've just got an instant recovery flask, and then I've got a granite flask and a quartz flask. Quartz, super useful, just to phase through monsters so you don't get blocked. If you feel like you're getting blocked a bunch, get yourself a quartz flask, it's super good. And Quicksilver, can't go wrong, and a diamond flask. In terms of skills, now, especially links. So for a while, I was using Concentrated Effect, and I'm not sure if the damage felt better because it was overlapping more or because I hadn't scaled my crit enough. I have gone back to the increased crit strike support and crit damage support. However, I have noticed a lot of people have swapped out one of these gems for trap and mine damage support, which I avoided on my previous character, and I'll show you why. So something to take note of is this says supported skills have less trap throwing speed. And if you read Seismic Trap, modifiers to trap throwing speed affects how frequently it releases waves. So if you have less trap throwing speed, this is going to pulse less. However, I haven't tried this out. So maybe trap and mine damage actually does feel better for bossing. If it does, I'll let you know. I might do like one final build update for this, but this setup feels pretty good. I do feel like sometimes when I'm fighting a boss, it's almost like Spectral Helix, like the placement of the Seismic Trap around the boss matters. So I've felt, and a couple of people have also said that they felt like if you place the trap slightly off to the side of the boss, it feels like it does more damage. Give that a try if you want, but I'm not 100% sure if it makes that big a difference. The rest of the links are pretty much the same, but there are some things that I didn't really go over in my original video. One is Void Sphere. This is optional. I have Void Sphere linked with Life Tap. This is just so that when you do something like a Harvest or a Strongbox, you can drop your traps, and then drop a Void Sphere and then click open the Harvest or the Strongbox. And then when the monsters come out, they all get sucked into the middle. So it's just like a utility thing, a defensive utility thing to keep monsters away. It's optional. You don't have to use it, but I really like it. And then, now, speaking of auras, let's just go over these quickly. So you may notice that I have an extra aura here. I'm using Defiance Banner. I'll go first over the original auras I was using. Defiance Banner, Pride, Grace, Precision, and Skitterbots. Now, if you've been struggling to fit all of these in, just make sure that your Precision is level 1, because the higher the level of this gem, the more reservation it reserves. So if your Precision is like level 19 and you're wondering why you can't fit in Pride, then just check this. Also go over your passive tree. Make sure you've allocated Charisma with the mana reservation efficiency of skills. And then you've also got the Skitterbots, mana reservation efficiency, and also the Grace mana reservation efficiency. And then make sure this Precision is level 1. But there is a bonus aura, Determination. I learned this on stream today. Apparently, some people have been making use of putting Pride in with Eternal Blessing support. For some reason, this means that Pride reserves no mana and all of your other auras still function. This does not seem intentional unless I'm missing something. I've read through this a bunch. What I think it's meant to do is that your non-blessing skills which reserve mana are disabled while you have an aura from a supported skill on you. So that last line should imply that when I have Pride on, which reserves no mana, none of my other auras should work, but they do. I don't think that's intended. So if you're using this tech, just be aware it's probably gonna get removed. And it's only because of this tech that I'm able to fit in Determination. I'm probably gonna take this out because I don't wanna rely on it. I'm almost 100% sure that unless I'm just misunderstanding something and that the wording means that you can use Pride, I'm pretty sure this is not intended and it's going to get removed. But we'll see. I mean, I guess you could make use of it if you want until it is. But yeah, other than that, pretty much all the gems are the same. I'm also using Enduring Cry. This is just to get some endurance charges on bosses. Bear Trap, some people say, why are you using Bear Trap? It's very nice. It slows down speedy bosses. Like if you have a rower that runs past, like one of the ones in Bog map or something, you throw this under it, it slows it down. Also, enemies take 25% increased damage from trap or mine hits. It applies like a little debuff. And then if you have enough sockets, I currently don't because of this little trick over here, link it with Culling Strike just to finish off big bosses. And then Assassin's Mark, it's all pretty much the same. And then one other big thing that I want to go over is spell suppression. A few people said, why in your POB is spell suppression not capped? And it was a very good question. I'm glad people called me out on that because I should be. You should be spell suppression capped. And I'm sorry that the original POB didn't cover that. So I think what happened was that in my endgame version, had some pieces of gear that were kind of capping it off or something like that. But it's not that easy to find tons of spell suppression gear early on, especially when you're using uniques. So I've actually decided to path down this way and grab Magebane. This provides us with about 15%. Yeah, 15% spell suppression. And then these nodes up here on the tree, I originally took these, melding. I've instead invested those points down here so we get a bit more increased max life. However, if you can cap your spell suppression without these nodes, you can instead take melding. Melding is very nice for just topping off your energy shield and life. And then you're also close to this little cluster jewel. The rest of the tree is still pretty straightforward. One mastery I want to draw your attention to is this one. 1 energy shield per 8 evasion on boots. Very nice if you have Atziri's Step because these can get over 800 evasion rating. So this provides 100 flat energy shield, which is very nice. And the rest of the masteries should be pretty clear. I'm pretty sure I even had that one in. The rest of it is all straightforward. I'm currently level 89, on the way to level 90. I'm going to be grabbing these nodes. So 1, 2, this will bring me up to level 91. And then I'm probably going to go up to level 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97. If I can get up to 97, I'll grab this melding node. But I will keep you updated with the build. But overall, the build is doing great. Running T16s. Sometimes I'll run into map modifiers that just completely delete me. Earlier today on stream, I selected one of the totem altar mods for the new Exarch influence, and it applied poisons, and then the burning ground that they drop after you kill them applied a poison, and it's just like it instantly kills you. But yeah, just read, try slow down a bit and read what is happening, but you should be fine. Other than that, I'm not dying a whole lot, except when I push maps a bit too far. So just, you know what? If you got a lot of maps, run them white. There's no pressure to like mega juice your maps because there's so much juice on the tree as it is. So just run white maps. It's absolutely fine. I guess I should go over my Atlas tree. I'm a bit hesitant to go over this because it's very specific to my goals for what I was looking to accomplish, but I will give you some tips and I will link my tree in the description. But if you're not making use of essences, these nodes are ridiculous. There are so many times where I've had more than 10 essences drop on the ground. So prolific essence, every area contains an essence. Then this one, imprisoned monsters have a chance to contain 3 additional essences. So if that procs, then you have up to 6 essences. And then I think these nodes can also give you even more essences than this one over here. Shrieking, monsters imprisoned by Shrieking Essence in areas will be duplicated when released. So most of the time you are getting Shrieking Essences, especially with this node. Essences found in area are a tier higher. If you find something with Shrieking Essences, you just get double. And if there are 6 or 7 essences on that one monster, which happens fairly frequently, you get like 14 essences. That's probably my best advice. The rest of this is stuff that just juices up the maps a bit. Metamorph, I'm not really sold on this. I want to unspec it. I don't like Metamorph. It takes too long, especially if the things are beefy. But then I've also got Kirac mods, Essence, and then just some Searing Exarch stuff, and then stuff from like Conqueror maps. But I don't want to go too much into this because it does depend on your playstyle. But I do want to point out, if you're not taking advantage of essences, do, because they're really, really good. And again, this will be linked in the description below, along with my PoB placement for the current version of this build, so you can compare it to your own. And I believe that's it. If you have any other questions about the build, if you're having problems with it, just let me know in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer you. Otherwise, you can also hop into my Discord server. There's a lot of helpful people there that you can ask, and there are a lot of people playing this build, so there should be someone willing to help you out. But that's going to be it, everyone. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.